Hello YouTube, what is going on, Broham Dude Mankowskis, and today we will be talking about the philosophy behind Wreck-It Ralph. So firstly, I want to start off with saying that Wreck-It Ralph has been one of my favorite movies since I was younger. I saw it in theaters, I'm pretty sure. Maybe, I need to check when that came out. I know I saw the second one in theaters. Okay, I did not see Wreck-It Ralph in theaters, I was 2 years old. But I saw the second one in theaters. And I saw the first one a million times. If you don't know the story of Wreck-It Ralph, basically, they are in an arcade. It's like a video game style thing. And Ralph, he's the bad guy. He lives in the dump, and each day he has to wake up and break a building. The player plays as Fix-It Felix, which is a guy that has to fix the building, which Ralph breaks. It's basically Donkey Kong, except instead of climbing ladders, you're fixing a building. At the end of the game, Felix goes to the top of the roof, they throw Ralph off, and they give him a medal. The movie starts out with him in his dump, talking to himself in a monologue kind of way. It is revealed that he is at a superheroes sort of anonymous meeting, or not superheroes, a villain anonymous thing, where they talk to each other about their villain problems. And after that, it is revealed that it is the 30th anniversary of his game. So he goes back to his game, and he sees everybody in the penthouse throwing a party, having fun. He goes into the penthouse, he meets Fix-It Felix and all the people there. He's invited in for a slice of cake, and the lady mentions that every layer of the penthouse is the person who lives on that floor's favorite flavor of cake. Ralph obviously lives in the dump, so he's at the bottom of the cake in a pool of mud, which is chocolate. And Ralph states that, well, he hates chocolate. Then there's this mean guy named Gene, and he comes up to Ralph, and he's telling Ralph that he doesn't belong at the top of the cake. He belongs to be in the mud where the bad guys go, because, well, he's a bad guy, he's not a good guy. And Ralph says, well, I could be a good guy if I wanted to. And Gene says, well, no you can't. And Ralph says, well, yeah, I can. And then Gene says, well, yeah, no, you can't. And then Ralphie smashes the cake and storms out of there. He makes his way over to a game called Hero's Duty, which is, I think, is supposed to be an arcade play on Call of Duty. There's basically these little space bugs and a bunch of army men from, like, that look like Master Chief. And you have to kill the space bugs in order to get this Medal of Honor, the Medal of Duty. So Ralph, he plays the game, and he doesn't do the best at it. But at the very end, there's this big light, this big beacon, that gathers all of the bugs back to the spawn point. And Ralph, what does he do? He sneaks over there, and he steals the medal without actually winning the game. He leaves in a spaceship, running away from a space alien, but the space alien is on the spaceship. It latched itself onto it. And Ralph, he doesn't know how to fly a spaceship, obviously, so he crashes into this game called Sugar Rush. And it is there that he meets this girl named Vanellope, which a lot of people think her name is Penelope, but it's Vanellope, and I don't know why. Maybe they just wanted to be different. At first, he hates Penelope. Dang it, they got me doing it now. At first, he hates Vanellope, because Vanellope, she's, always annoying, to say the least. And she ends up trying to steal his medal. Vanellope steals his medal, that way she can join the game that, well, she was programmed into. They don't believe that she's a part of the game because, well, she's a glitch, so they don't let her race in the racing games. So what does she do? She gets a medal. That way, she has a way to enter the games. And while she's there, Ralph comes looking for his medal back because, well, he needs that medal. So he runs over and he tries to get the medal back, but he's covered in icing. He looks like a big old cookie monster, to say the least. Cookie monster, not the Cookie Monster, but like a cookie monster, a monster of cookies. Eventually, he is caught by the police of Sugar Rush, and at first, he doesn't realize that they're looking for him. He doesn't realize that he's a bad guy because, well, he was programmed to do these things. He doesn't think that what he's doing is that bad because that's how he was programmed. It's how he was made. Eventually, Ralph is looking around and he sees Vanellope with her car. She sees that the other racers start to surround her and they start to make fun of her. They start pretending to be a glitch and breaking up the car. and just stuff like that. And they make fun of Vanellope for not being able to help the fact that she is glitching. Now, I don't know if I'm reaching here or not, but I think it could be a metaphor for disability, because, I mean, there are many people that do, like with Tourette's syndrome, you do things you don't mean to and you can't help it. But other people often don't fully understand that, and they can get annoyed and make fun of you for it. After they make fun of Vanellope, Ralph, he rushes in there and he scares off the kids. And Vanellope and Ralph, they decide that it's best for them to team up. Because if you cross the finish line, you get the medal back. You win the medal. They eventually go to create a candy car for Vanellope because, well, the other people destroyed her car. So they get to the car making place, and Ralph isn't the best car maker, to say the least. But Vanellope is still optimistic even when it comes out bad. This just goes to show how she was brought into this place and she's looked down upon. She's in pretty much the same place as Ralph. She's the villain of her game. Her game doesn't really have a villain, but she's mistreated enough to be one. She's still optimistic about it, unlike Ralph, who is pessimistic about it and gets angry a lot. So Fix-It Felix, he goes into the game along with a girl from the hero's duty. So they go looking for Ralph and the bug. That way the bug doesn't eat everybody in the game. Fix-It Felix, he goes to King Candy's castle, and the little gumdrop guy opens the door. And Fix-It Felix tells him that he's with Wreck-It Ralph and that he needs help finding Ralph. The gumdrop guy, after Ralph's chaos that he caused at the race, says that he's not going to make the same mistake twice, and he throws Felix in jail. While Felix is in jail, he feels the same way that Ralph did. He feels how Ralph did, and I think that this really helps him understand where Ralph is coming from as a character. Eventually, Ralph is revisited by King Candy, and King Candy says, Ralph, Vanellope can't win the race. Because if she wins the race, then she is put on the character list. People playing the game can choose her as their character. And then whenever they do that, it's going to glitch, and the game is going to get shut down, and all the people inside the game, well, not all the people, but Vanellope specifically, can't leave the game. She's going to die along with the game, because glitches can't leave. Glitches can't leave their own game. All the other people, they can refuge to other games, which probably isn't ideal, but it keeps their code alive, as long as they don't refuge to hero's duty. Ralph decides that it is best for Vanellope that she doesn't race. So he decides to break her car in order to stop her from racing. King Candy reaches into the code and he gives Ralph his medal back. Look at this! So Ralph now has his medal and he's going back to his own game, leaving Vanellope in hers. And he notices that nobody's in the penthouse, everybody's gone. And he wonders why, until he realizes. He looks at the screen, and there's a paper that says out of order. Since Ralph wasn't at his game, doing what he needs to do, the game has shut down. And this shows how vital Ralph is to his game, even if he is a bad guy. He meets Eugene in the penthouse, and Eugene says, well, now you can live in the penthouse alone. I know you said you could live in the penthouse with us earlier, but the game's shutting down. And now that you have your medal, you can live in the penthouse, but nobody else is going to be here. Ralph, he decides, you know what? I'm angry. I'm going to throw this medal. And he throws the medal, and it just so happens to hit the paper at the perfect angle that the paper falls, and he sees Vanellope is on the side of the game. If Vanellope's on the side of the game, how is she a glitch? She's not. She was programmed into the game. So Ralph goes back to King Candy's place. He finds a little gumdrop guy and he tortures him for information. Fair enough. But what's Fix-It Felix up to? Alright, he's in jail. So Fix-It Felix, he tries to break out of jail. He hits the bars with his hammer and they just get stronger. He comes to this frustration with the fact that he can only fix everything he touches. Almost as if it is a metaphor that he is good, but he is frustrated by the fact that he can only do good. Now, Ralph and Fix-It, they come to an understanding of each other and they team up in order to help Vanellope. They end up using their differences to their advantage. Like Ralph, he can only break things. Fix-It, he can only fix things. And Vanellope, well, she's a glitch. So, for example, Fix-It Felix, he fixes the car that Ralph broke. And Vanellope, she glitches around the track. And they end up using their differences towards their goal, and it helps them achieve it. But what's happening at the end of the race? What? The bugs? Oh, you forgot about the bugs? The bugs from earlier? Oh yeah, they're still in the game. And they laid eggs, and now there's an army of bugs, and they're gonna kill everybody in Sugar Rush. So everybody evacuates Sugar Rush, and wait a minute. Vanellope can't evacuate Sugar Rush. She's a glitch. So Ralph, Fix-It, and the blonde girl, I don't know her name, I don't know if it ever says it, but they try and save Vanellope. They try and save Sugar Rush because, well, she can't leave the game. So Ralph, what does he do? He remembers. A beacon. A beacon is what attracts the bugs. It's what signals to them that it's the end of the game. And he sees this volcano of Coke and Mentos. So Ralph, he rides this hoverboard to the top of the volcano, and he ends up trying to break it. He tries to get the Mentos to fall into the Coke to create a lava vacuum of Coca-Cola in order to burn up the bugs and signal to them that it's the end of the game. But what's that? King Candy? Yeah, King Candy turned into a bug. And he's also Turbo. This is one of the creepiest characters or things that I think have ever existed in a Disney or Pixar movie. It still gives me nightmares to this day. Just look at it. Eventually, Ralph, he realizes that he's losing this, and he realizes that it's either him or it's Vanellope. So Ralph decides to make the ultimate sacrifice by plummeting himself into the Coca-Cola volcano. So he does it, he falls, he hits it, and right as soon as he almost falls in the Coca-Cola volcano lava stuff, Vanellope glitches and saves him. I think that this shows that Ralph is capable of doing good deeds. He is capable of being a good character, even though he's programmed to be the villain of the game. I would also like to point out that at the end of the movie, Ralph claims to love chocolate instead of hate it. It shows his sort of shift from pessimistic to optimistic, as in the beginning, you know, he was never really fond of chocolate, but now he loves chocolate. So now Ralph returns to his game after saving it, and they all treat him equally again. They all treat him fun. They all are nice to him now. So Ralph is treated equally now. He does still have to be the villain of the game, but that doesn't change the fact that he is, you know, a good person now. Zangief at the beginning of the movie once said,
"You are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy."
So Ralph now has friends, and he has also shifted his perspective. He was, at the start, pessimistic and only really cared about how he was treated rather than how others treated him. But then he shifted his perspective. He gained a little bit of empathy, and he started thinking about other people instead of just himself, as can be seen by the sacrifice to save Vanellope. And I think that this form of stoicism is what led to his happiness at the ending of the film. Now, that is all for today. I would also really like to thank Cop 1.0 PH on TikTok for posting the full Wreck-It Ralph movie, because that is how I watched it in order to gain all this knowledge, because, well, it's not on any streaming service. It's probably on Disney Plus. I just didn't check it. Anyways, thank you. Goodbye. Eating a bunch of deserts.
To be your cactus, I want to be your cactus. To be a cactus, I want to be a cactus. To be a cactus, I want to be a